हेलो गुड मॉर्निंग दोस्तों, मेरा नाम है गणेश दुआरिया और आज हम बात करेंगे कि गाड़ियों के ब्रेक पैड कैसे चेंज होते हैं। ब्रेक पैड चेंज करते समय क्या क्या चीज़ों की सावधानियां रखनी पड़ती है और क्या क्या टूल होते हैं और कैसे ब्रेक पैड चेंज किए जाते हैं। ब्रेक की थिकनेस कितनी होती है, ब्रेक पैड कब चेंज किए जाते हैं, पूरी प्रोसेस इस वीडियो में समझेंगे।
Hyundai welcomes you to this video-based training module. This module will familiarize you with the process to replace brake pads and shoes in Hyundai vehicles. Brake pads replacement. Install the fender covers on the vehicle. Apply parking brakes to prevent vehicle from rolling. Remove wheel cover if any to reach the wheel nuts. Loosen the wheel nuts using a suitable spanner. Lift the vehicle using two-post lift or floor jack. Remove the wheel nuts fully and then remove the wheel. As the wheel is removed, the disc caliper is visible. Calipers have a window from where the disc and pads can be inspected visually for wear out. Generally, brake pads have a groove in the center of friction material. The wear amount of brake pads can be judged by the remaining size of the groove from this window. To remove pads in front disc brakes, loosen the lower caliper mounting bolt and remove it. Fold caliper in upward direction and hang it with the help of a wire for easy removal of pads. To remove pads in rear disc brakes, loosen both the caliper mounting bolts and remove them. Remove and lift the caliper up and then hang it with the help of a wire for easy removal of pads. Caliper piston keeps coming out to adjust for the clearance created by worn-out brake pads. For easy installation of new brake pads, the piston must be pushed back. Use caliper piston expander to push the piston back to its position. Before removing pads, observe the installation of brake pads along with the pad shim and retainers carefully. This will help to install new brake pads easily and accurately. Remove the brake pads one by one. Remove pad shim and retainers. Inspect the brake pads for wear either by checking the thickness of pad, that is, lining with base metal plate, or by checking the thickness of the brake lining. Replace the brake pads if the brake pad or lining thickness is near the service limit. Inspect brake pads for cracks, glazing, rough surface or scarring. In any of the above conditions, brake pads should be replaced. Inspect brake disc for runout using a dial gauge. Place dial gauge at about 5 mm from the outer edge of the brake disc to measure the runout. If runout is more than the service limit, replace the disc. Inspect the disc thickness with a micrometer. Place micrometer at about 5 mm from the outer edge of the brake disc to measure the thickness. Replace the disc if its thickness has reached the service limit. Install the new brake pads along with the pad shim and retainers in the position as observed during removal. In front disc brakes, apply grease on the lower guide and then install it. Take the caliper out and apply a small amount of grease on the upper pin attached with caliper. Apply grease on the caliper lower bolt. In rear disc brakes, take out the caliper pins and apply grease on them. Install the pins back into their position. Slide the caliper over the new brake pads and reinstall the mounting bolts. Tighten the caliper mounting bolts to the specified torque. Move disc to ensure free movement of disc. Reinstall the wheel and bring the vehicle down. Tighten all wheel nuts to specified torque. Reinstall the wheel cover. Remove fender covers from the vehicle. Push in the brake pedal several times to adjust the caliper piston. Conduct road test to ensure the proper function of brakes. Brake shoes replacement. Apply parking brakes to prevent vehicle from rolling. Remove wheel cover, if any, to reach the wheel nuts. Loosen the wheel nuts using a suitable spanner. Lift the vehicle using 2-post lift or floor jack. Remove the wheel nuts fully and remove the wheel. Release parking brake. Remove the screw attaching drum with bearing hub. Remove brake drum. Inspect the brake shoes for wear either by checking the thickness of shoe that is lining with base metal plate or by checking the thickness of the brake lining. Replace the brake shoes if the brake shoe thickness or lining is near the service limit. Check the brake drum inside diameter for wear and run out. If the inside diameter is more than the service limit, replace the drum. In ABS vehicle, disconnect the coupler of wheel speed sensor. To remove brake shoes, remove all the 4 bolts attaching the wheel hub to the back plate. Remove the wheel hub. Reinstall all the bolts to support the back plate. This helps in easy replacement of brake shoes. Observe the assembly of components carefully before removal of brake shoes. Observe how the springs and shoes are installed. This helps in correct and easy reinstallation of components. Remove shoe holding pins. To remove the pins, press the spring and then rotate the pin to release it. Remove the spring connecting shoe adjuster and brake shoe. Remove the lower return spring. Remove shoe adjuster. Remove the springs holding both the shoes together. Remove the brake shoes. Disconnect the parking brake cable from the lever. Clean the back plate. Apply grease on the brake shoe edges and all sliding surfaces. Be careful while applying grease. Grease should not come in contact with brake lining. Install the parking brake cable to the lever. Apply grease on the threads of shoe adjuster assembly. Reduce the length of shoe adjuster. This will help in easy installation of drum with new brake shoes. Install upper return spring and then install shoe adjuster between the two new brake shoes in the same way as observed during removal. Be careful not to damage the wheel cylinder dust cover. Do not push any piston of the wheel cylinder in while installing the brake shoe. This may push the other piston out. Install shoe adjuster lever and adjuster lever spring. Install lower return spring. Install the shoe holding pins and springs. Remove all 4 bolts supporting back plate and install the wheel hub. Tighten all 4 bolts and connect the wheel speed sensor coupler. Install brake drum and tighten the screw to attach drum with the wheel hub. Rotate the drum to ensure free movement. Reinstall the wheel and bring the vehicle down. Tighten all wheel nuts to specified torque. Reinstall the wheel cover. Press the brake pedal fully 4 to 5 times to reset the shoe adjuster and adjust gap between drum and shoes. Check and adjust the parking brakes. Fitment of new shoes may require adjustment of parking brake cable. Take a road test to ensure proper function of brakes. This completes the module on brake pads and shoes replacement.
तो अगर दोस्तों अगर आपको मेरा वीडियो अच्छा लगा हो तो मेरे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कीजिए, कमेंट कीजिए और लाइक कीजिए और अपने दोस्तों को इसको शेयर कीजिए वीडियो को, ताकि